Alexander Povetkin stops Mariusz Wach in the 12th round via TKO. Mariusz Wach didn't go down. He was stopped on his feet. He was under a barrage of punches. His eye was all swollen up. His face was busted up, and the referee saw to have mercy on him and stop the fight. I predicted that Povetkin would win this fight on points, and the fight played out pretty much exactly as I expected it to play out, and I think the majority of people also expected it to play out like this. There were some people that felt that Povetkin would just blow Mariusz Wach out in 5 or 6 rounds, and I was surprised that there were so many people who thought that. And the reason why I was surprised so many people thought that is because Vladimir Klitschko hit Mariusz Wach with everything, and Wach never came close to going down. And Vladimir definitely hits harder than Povetkin. So Povetkin, being a shorter guy who doesn't hit as hard, who's not going to be able to land as frequently on Mariusz Wach's chin, why would he be able to stop Mariusz Wach in 5 or 6 rounds? That, kind of baffled me. Don't get it twisted. We all get predictions wrong. I get them wrong. You get them wrong. I mean, I got this one wrong. I thought the fight would go the distance, but it was 2 minutes away from going the distance. But yeah, I think some people just got a bit too carried away with Povetkin's knockout wins of late. Because after Deontay Wilder fought Stavern, I said that Wilder's got a good chance of beating Povetkin. And then he had his first defense, which was really poor. And I said if he fought like that against Povetkin, he'd get destroyed. But then in his last fight against Dupas, I was saying, you know what? Yeah, maybe I'm still back on this idea that he could beat Povetkin. Okay, and now maybe some of you will see why I've been saying that Wilder's got a good chance of beating Povetkin in this Wach fight. Yes, he stopped Wach in the end. And he was, he's the first guy to stop him. Never dropped him or anything, but managed to bust him up and gradually beat the fight out of him. But people have been getting gassed and overexcited by these knockouts that Povetkin's been having. But who's he been knocking out? He's been knocking out short guys who stand right in front of him, who are easy for him to catch. He ain't been fighting 6'7" guys who are much quicker on their feet than those, than the likes of Manuel Char and Mike Perez. He ain't been fighting, little shorts. He ain't been fighting 6'7" guys. He's been fighting little short 6'1" guys that are standing right in front of him. Yeah. So totally different if you're fighting Wilder. And Wach was able to catch Povetkin in there with shots. And I'm telling you right now, Wilder hits harder than Mariusz Wach. Definitely hits harder. He's more explosive. When his big right hands start flying in, it's a totally different ball game. So this fight played out exactly as I expected it to play out, apart from him managing to get a stoppage in the 12th. It looked how I expected it to look, and this is why I give Wilder a good shot of beating Povetkin. So let me know what you thought of the performance. Were any of you surprised? Were any of you these guys who thought that Povetkin would knock Mariusz Wach out and do, 5? I mean, he did stop him, but I'm talking about, the people who thinking he was going to stop him in 5 or 6 rounds, have him laid out on the canvas like he did to Carlos Takam and Manuel Char and Mike Perez. Were you one of the guys who thought you'd do that? And if you were, explain why you thought he'd do that. I never saw that myself. If you can take everything Vladimir Klitschko throws at you bang on the chin for 12 rounds, then I can't see Povetkin being able to put you on the floor, So that's how I felt about it. So yeah, it was what I expected from Povetkin in this fight. Got the stoppage in the end. That was good in the 12th. But no, not really much else to say. What I can say, though, this was a fantastic card. And this main event wasn't, I wouldn't say it was an anti-climax as such. It was an okay fight. It was a decent fight. It was mildly competitive. But the undercard was so strong. There were so many great fights on the undercard, so many knockouts, that it was a little bit, it did make the main event seem a little bit flat in comparison, But a great card. Eddie Hearn and all the other promoters out there, take note, because this is what you should be putting on. Especially if you're going to charge people pay-per-view. Put on a card like this. Don't put on a British title fight. Don't get it twisted. I'm very much looking forward to Joshua versus White, but there's no way that should be topping any bill on a pay-per-view. That's disgusting. That should be an undercard fight somewhere. And if it is top of the bill, like I say, it should never be pay-per-view. It is what it is. So let me know how you feel felt about Povetkin's performance. Do you now see why I've been giving Wilder a chance against this guy, a very realistic chance of beating him? Or are you still not convinced that Wilder's got any chance? Where now for Mariusz Wach? Maybe you'd like to see him face possibly the winner of Joshua against White. Although Eddie Hearn says the winner of Joshua against White, or if Joshua beats White, he would like to match him against Erkan for the European title. So yeah, let me know how you feel about the performance and where you see both fighters going forward, who you'd like to see them fight next. Povetkin is mandatory, obviously, for Wilder's title. But apparently Povetkin's people put out a statement today or yesterday saying that they won't be ready for January because the mandatory is supposed to be in January, right? But Povetkin's people said, Povetkin won't be ready for January. Therefore, the WBC are going to allow Wilder to have another voluntary, since Povetkin's people said they're not going to be ready by that time because that's when the mandatory is due by. So they're going to allow Wilder to have another voluntary, and then he'll fight Povetkin after that. So let me know about how you feel about everything. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.